Good morning. It's not that early. Good morning. Thank you for joining us all today. My name is Chris Norwood, and I'm currently the president of the Milpitas Unified School District. And I'm a longtime resident of the city of Milpitas and the South Bay area. I am happy to be here and welcome you all to Milpitas High School today, my alma mater, to celebrate the unsung heroes of the Assembly District 25. Let's give a big round of applause. So let's pretend that the Unsung Heroes is your favorite sports team. Let's give them a big round of applause. Thank you. During the past 18 months, we've seen incredible strength and tenacity of our community. I've seen firsthand people from all walks of life come together in the face of adversity and in times of uncertainty to help one another and care for their neighbors and community. It is my privilege and honor to be in company of some of those individuals today, along with the loved ones who support them, loved ones, friends, and family. You are also unsung heroes. Loved ones, friends, and family, you are also unsung heroes. And now to perform the national anthem, please welcome the Eternity Band, a student band that performs concerts for senior centers, kindergartners, and homeless shelters in Newark, Fremont, and Union City.
Ready? Can you see why the dawn's early light would so proudly we at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the sky, o'er the ramparts we watched, are so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof the night that our flag say does that star-spangled banner land of the free in the fall of our rain.
Thank you, Eternity Band. You may be seated. Now it is my great honor to welcome Milpitas High School. Oh, they get to do another performance. Okay, here we go.
Hi, everyone. So because of COVID restrictions, a couple band members couldn't be here with us today. And so to compensate, we have the backup. We will be playing A Lighter Shade of Pale by Procol Harum. And this is an original Eternity Band arrangement. courtesy of Johnson. Everyone ready? Sure. When we call out for a night, but I want to thank God. And what more can I be? One of 16 at the wedding. And although I'm poor, in my distant
Thank you, Eternity Band, for your hard work, your commitment to the community, and your care for so many. Now it is my great honor to welcome Milpitas High School's very own, our Assembly District 25 Assembly Member, Alex Lee, who will take us through the rest of the program. Thank you.
Hey, good morning, everyone. I'm gonna fix this over. I'll just hold it. So good morning, everyone. My name is Alex Lee. I am proud to be your state assembly member for the District 25, representing the beautiful city of Milpitas. Yeah, there you go. Northern San Jose, Santa Clara, Fremont, and Newark. And yes, this is my alma mater. So shout out to all the Trojans out there. I proudly am a product of our community's public schools. In fact, I graduated from high school here back in 2013, so a little while ago. And I'm really proud to be giving back and recognizing so many of the folks who have made our community so successful and vibrant as it is. It's my great honor to be representing us, one of the only Asian American majority districts in the entire state as well. And it's important to acknowledge all the challenges that we have gone through and all the successes that we'll go through together. Why today is so important and why we chose to recognize the unsung heroes is during the pandemic, so many of us have suffered quietly and sacrificed so much to do so much for our community. And by nature, unsung heroes often don't get the spotlight. We don't always have the fancy titles. We don't have the positions of power to get that recognition, but it really is each and every one of you working every day on the front lines that makes this all possible. And that's why I want to recognize all the unsung heroes. I also wanted to acknowledge that today we are hosting our event here on the ancestral land of the Mwekma Ohlone tribe, and that today is also Transgender Day of Remembrance. And as a member of the LGBTQ caucus, it's important to me to be fighting for the equal rights of our trans family members as well as everyone else, regardless of their orientation or their identities. I was sworn in December 2020, so almost a year ago now, and my first year in office, just as we have all experienced last year, has been very challenging as we face the pandemic. In the first year alone, we have closed over 2,200 cases, most of those being with EDD. And as you probably know with your friends and family, many people struggled with acute unemployment and for the first time had to reach out to our offices to figure out how to navigate through an unprecedented time. And that means over 2,000 families in our area needed help getting the funds and support, and I'm glad we were able to help them. And in the first year alone, we passed 7 bills, 5 of which were signed into law, including a bill to protect mobile home park residents from being charged unfair water fees, and a bill to make BART stations safer, because we have 2 of those in our district. We also secured $156 million to combat rising hate crimes, push for support to help renters, small landlords, and our small businesses, and we fought for a safe return to schools. Our office also organized 2 highway cleanups this year, where many of the honorees, including the Ismaili civic volunteers who will be honored today, showed up in full force. Thank you. And while the pandemic is far from over, unfortunately, there's a light at the end of this tunnel. And that's thanks to our frontline workers caring for the sick, our friends and neighbors that deliver food to one another, and the resilience of our community. And in the wake of the deadliest mass shooting in the South Bay history that befell our VTA workers and impact our community, some of our brave heroes immediately asked themselves how they could help. And some of those heroes are here today, as well as their rehab vehicles too. So today, we'll be recognizing those unsung heroes from throughout the district that stepped up when we needed them most. And like President Chris Norwood noted, it's our great privilege today and honor the company of some of these individuals and groups today. For the program today, we'll be recognizing 36 individuals and groups. And I can tell you there were many, many nominations from community members across our district. And it was a very hard choice to limit it just to 36. And just it goes to show how much incredible work there is being done by our community. Just kind of housekeeping note is once we call everyone to the stage, we'll be reading out a short biography about the incredible work they do, and they'll be receiving their awards and commendations. And also, we'll have an optional speaking opportunity for you to speak for a minute if you like. And I know as by nature of all being unsung heroes, you kind of perhaps might shy from the limelight. So it's okay. You don't have to public speak if you don't want to public speak. But I definitely give you the opportunity to do so. And once we've completed all the recognitions, I'd like all the honorees to come up with me at the very end and we'll take a group photo. And I guess I would also be remiss if I forgot to say that our very own San Jose council member from District 4 representing Berryessa is here with us today. David Cohen is in the back as well. Thank you for joining us. So with that, then let's get the show on the road and get some unsung heroes honored then.
Can we give it up one more time for our assembly member? Thank you so much all for coming. Hello everyone, my name is Soraya and I'm a field representative with the district and I will be announcing everyone's names today and talking about their bios. A couple more housekeeping things I wanted to remind you all. Please keep your masks on unless you're drinking or eating. And also if you need to use the restroom, they are down that way. We also have water over there where the check-in table is if you do get thirsty, so please go ahead and grab those. And once again, award recipients, be sure to read your instruction card and pay attention to who is being awarded in front of you. Our other staff members, Anurag and Matthew, where are you? Wave, please. If you think that you're coming up next, find them and they will direct you to the stage, all right? And so, of course, again, if you want to make remarks, it's optional, but make sure you keep it under 1 minute. And don't forget to stick around for the group photo afterwards. All right, so let's get started. First up, the Eternity Band. The Eternity Band was nominated by Johnny Q. The Eternity Band is a student volunteer band that brings positive energy to our community. They have performed volunteer concerts for senior centers, libraries, kindergartens, and homeless shelters in Newark, Fremont, and Union City. They have also worked to provide academic help to hundreds of students, coordinated donations to those in need, and aided cleanup of our local trails. And of course, they were performing today. Let's give them one more round of applause. And they're middle schoolers as well. Can you believe that? Thank you so much. The Eternity Band, everyone. Alrighty, next up, we have Kavita Sridhar and Kishan Sridhar. And going today to represent them is Tani. We were nominated as Unsung Heroes. Kavita and Kishan are the co-founders of Pragna, which creates real-world experiences for neurodiverse members of our communities to help them feel accepted, supported, empowered, and part of the community. Kavita and Kishan also help organize and lead parent support groups and trainings for caregivers to help them have the knowledge and resources they need to better support their loved ones. Give it up one more time.
But as you can see, I want Kavita and Kishan Sridhar, who are the founders of Pragya, but it is my honor to accept an award for them. Why aren't they here? Because they're doing what community service does, what they do in community service best. They're putting on a feastable, sort of a pre-Thanksgiving luncheon for almost 200 people just down the road here. And they're serving people who are basically what we call neurodiverse or neurominority, like my son who has autism, a resident of Milpitas. They have just been miracle workers in terms of bringing my son out into the community to basically get more acculturated and more integrated. They work with families, and I could just go on and on. Their foundation is prognia.org, and if you're interested in volunteering, the way they do this, the way they integrate people who are different, neurodiverse. They have allies, which are volunteers, like high school students and college students. They train them. And my son used to be quite isolated in his house in Milpitas, but now he goes out to community events. He's learning about financial literacy through a class that they put on so that he can eventually get a job. And I just want to encourage you to visit their website. I wish I could talk more, but thank you for them giving him this award. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much. All right, next up is Seema Butter. Seema Butter? There you are. Nominated by Saya Butter. Seema works in civil rights advocacy as a volunteer with the Council on American Islamic Relations. During the COVID-19 pandemic, she raised community funds and delivered hundreds of meals to frontline healthcare workers at Washington Hospital in Fremont. In the past few months, she has also raised thousands of dollars to help Afghan refugees settle in the Bay Area. Seema.
Thank you so much it's really an honor to be selected to be one of the 2021 Unsung Heroes. I just want to say thank you to everyone here and for all you've done. These are difficult times and it's amazing that how this community has come together. And I'm really appreciative of all of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Seema. All right, next up. I also wanted to mention if nominators would like to come up with the awardee, you are more than welcome to join us up here on the stage. So our next awardee is Ajay Bhutoria, and he was nominated by Raj Nakawat. Ajay has worked diligently to serve members of our community most in need. He works with a global organization for community services to provide warm clothing, food, and other material to aid the unhoused members of our community. Ajay also helps to promote economic, cultural, and social partnerships between the people of the United States and India. Ajay.
Thank you so much, Assembly Member Alexi, and to this whole team for organizing this. Congratulations to each and every one of you, to the Unsung Heroes and the family members for all the wonderful work you do. Thank you.
Next up is Diana Day. Diana Day. Ibrahim. Diana is the founder of Ding Ding TV. She has organized civic leadership forums at Silicon Valley and the Silicon Valley Entrepreneurs Festival to aid local leaders. Diana has served as a board member for the Silicon Valley Central Chamber of Commerce, as a board member for Heart of Hope, as president of the U.S.-China Chamber of Commerce, and is a founder of the Silicon Valley Media. Diana Day.
Thank you so much, Assembly Member Alice Lee. And it's such an honor and privilege to be here and together with all the community leaders. We are the voice of Silicon Valley Asian Americans, but it's not only Asian American or African American or Indian American. We are United Americans, so we'd love to work with all of you. And thank you all.
Next up is Lisa Moreno. Lisa Moreno was nominated by Marsha Gurley. Lisa Moreno is the co-founder of Hope for the Unhoused, which works to provide outreach to unhoused members of our community with essential items, information, and resources. Her work has helped to educate our community on effective solutions for homelessness, and she has served unhoused members of our community by providing food, access to resources, and education programs. Lisa Moreno.
Thank you, Alex Lee and your team for putting this wonderful event together. Congratulations to all the nominees and all the winners. We need people like you in our community to make our community stronger and a better place. I also want to thank our group, Hope for the Unhoused, and all of our volunteers for all they do. We couldn't do that without them. And I'm the one who's truly blessed to have a wonderful family to support me and to have met all the unhoused in our community and be able to be a part of their lives and listen to their stories. So thank you to everybody, and I'm really blessed.
Next up is Brandy Gonzalez. Brandy Gonzalez was nominated by Noreen Maldonado. She's a volunteer who supports local firefighters and law enforcement officials with rehab by providing drinks, snacks, and meals during critical and emergent events, as well as second alarm. Earlier this year, her dedication, professionalism, and compassion aided the work of emergency medical services, the San Jose Fire Department, and law enforcement officials during a mass casualty incident in our community. Brandy Gonzalez. Next up is Thomas Metz. Marie Maldonado. Thomas is a volunteer who supports local firefighters and law enforcement officials with rehab by providing drinks, snacks, and meals during critical and emergent events, as well as second alarms. Earlier this year, his dedication, professionalism, and compassion aided the work of emergency medical services, the San Jose Fire Department, and law enforcement officials during a mass casualty event incident in our community. Thomas Metz.
I'd like to thank the Assembly and Alex Lee. Thank you to my family for supporting me through all this. Thank you to all the other, congratulations to everybody else. Thank you to the fire associates. I couldn't have done this without you guys. With all your hard work. And I guess that's it, folks.
Next up is John Whiteside. By Noreen Maldonado. John is a volunteer who supports local firefighters and law enforcement officials with rehab by providing drinks, snacks, and meals during critical and emergent events, as well as second alarm. Earlier this year, his dedication, professionalism, and compassion aided the work of emergency medical services, the San Jose Fire Department, and law enforcement officials during a mass casualty incident in our community. John Whiteside.
I just want to explain, we represent Fire Associates, volunteer group is celebrating its 52nd year this month. And we respond to major incidents called out by the local fire dispatch agencies, and we cover all of the departments within Santa Clara County. We happen to have our Fire Support Unit 3 over there, if you want to look at it or ask questions. We have 3 rigs like that that are based, 2 in San Jose, that one's out of Willow Glen, and 1 in the city of Santa Clara. So we represent about 3 dozen people that volunteer 24/7 to respond to those requests. Thank you very much.
Next up is Michelle Gutierrez Bowles. Matt Bowles. Michelle has been a nurse for more than 20 years and has worked as a frontline nurse in Fremont, California throughout the COVID-19 pandemic. She also serves as a board member for the California Nurses Association, where she works to champion the rights and safety of nurses to ensure that they are protected with safe working conditions and necessary personal protective equipment. Michelle Gutierrez Bowles.
Hi, thank you so much for today. Thank you for having me. I'm profoundly grateful to always be in a position to impact everyday lives for our patients, our community, as a nurse and as a nurse leader. I am a board member for California Nurses Association and National Nurses United. Our core principles are always caring, compassion, and community. I'm grateful to be a central part of really fighting for social justice for everyone. And I'm truly honored once again to be a part of everybody. Congratulations to all of you. This award really is for every single nurse everywhere here in the States and all over the world, because we continue to soldier on through this pandemic, whether we're protected or not. And I am truly grateful for that. And thank you, Assemblymember Lee, for this profound honor.
I also wanted to remind everyone, if you have family members or friends who could not make it today, we're actually live streaming the event on Facebook. The link is up here. So you can go ahead and text them and let them know that we are live on Facebook as well. Next up is Kathy Hamilton. Kathy Hamilton is a volunteer manager of the Ohlone Humane Society's Pet Meals on Wheels program. Her work helps community members in need feed and take care of their pets. She also works as a volunteer rehabilitator for the Ohlone Humane Society's Wildlife Rehabilitation Program, helping to save hundreds of injured and orphaned wildlife each year. Kathy Hamilton. Next up is Hunger at Home. Hunger at Home provides essential nutrition and dignity to those in need by collecting donated food and distributing it to people experiencing hunger and homelessness. In March 2020, Hunger at Home launched a meal preparation and distribution operation. These efforts have resulted in the distribution of more than 7.4 million meals to those in most need. Hunger at Home.
On behalf of Hunger at Home, I just want to thank the California Assemblymember Alex Lee for recognizing the work that we do. As a side note, just today, we finished about an hour ago, we delivered over 100 pounds of groceries and meals to more than 242 families at PayPal Stadium this morning. So we do that every week. We're very proud to do that. I just want to thank all the volunteers and supporters of Hunger at Home over these last few years, because without them, we couldn't have made this happen. So on behalf of all of them, thank you.
Next up is Islami Civic Volunteers. Islami Civic Volunteers have supported our community by donating food to the Milpitas Food Pantry and Second Harvest Food Bank, providing needed resources for Milpitas students. During the COVID-19 pandemic, they donated blankets and personal protective equipment, put together care packages for firefighters, and organized virtual college prep sessions. The Islami Civic Volunteers.
Oh, yeah.
On behalf of the leadership of the Smiley Council, the Smiley community, the Smiley civic volunteers who are present here, and hundreds more who are quietly working behind the scenes, giving the time, the knowledge, and their resources to help those in need. On behalf of everyone in this, thank you so much.
Thanks, Molly, civic volunteer. Next up is Cheryl Gordon. Cheryl Gordon was nominated by Chris Norwood. Cheryl is the superintendent of Mosquito's Unified School District. During the COVID-19 pandemic, she worked diligently to ensure that Mosquito students had access to academic opportunities. During her tenure, Jordan and her team launched a middle, college, high school program, Award Languages Academy, as well as partnerships to help students access personalized learning and career paths. Cheryl Gordon.
Good morning, everybody. I have invited with me two of our leaders from Pomeroy, Nicole Klein and Anastasia. Members of our executive cabinet, Jonathan Johnson and Reggie Dorpinghouse. One of our teachers who's also the president of our teachers union, Diana Orlando. Michelle Kissinger, the president of our CSBA union. However, she's in a meeting and we did recognize her this morning. But I'd also have our board president, Chris Norwood, because with me representing every person who works in our school district, because this is not about me, it is about what each of you and each of our team members has done throughout the pandemic to support learning and also working. I know that many of our team members have our own concerns and losses that we've dealt with throughout the pandemic. And yet we set those aside because we want to do our best for those in our classroom. So I thank you, and on behalf of Will Peters Unified School District, thank you to the unsung heroes who are in the classrooms, the offices, on campuses, in the grounds, and on the bus drivers. Thank you.
Up next is Dr. Prasad Kilaru. He's nominated by Angus Cochran. Prasad was chief of the medical staff at Washington Hospital Healthcare System throughout the COVID-19 pandemic. He organized and supported the response of physicians and worked tirelessly to ensure that the Washington Hospital was able to follow protocols and practices based on the best possible information. He also served as a volunteer member on the board of directors of Janya. Dr. Prasad Kilaru.
Thank you, Member Lee, for the honor. But honestly, this is something that everybody in the hospital, from the first person you meet when you walk in, all the way to the CEO that worked diligently, and all of the support we got from the community. We couldn't have done the job that we did without the help from the community, from SEMA, from a lot of people here who came to help. But we appreciate all of it, and there's so many unsung heroes. Pretty much everybody who's worked here. Thank you.
Our next unsung hero is Hong Lee. Nominated by Alex Again. Hong is a nurse in the Washington Hospital healthcare system in Fremont. She has cared for members of our community at Washington Hospital since 2005. In March 2020, she was assigned to the COVID-19 unit, and the majority of her work since the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic has been dedicated to working with COVID-19 positive patients. Hong Lee. Our next unsung hero is Diana Orlando. Diana Orlando was nominated by Chris Morgan. Diana has been an elementary school teacher and mentor in the Milpitas Unified School District for more than 30 years and has been the Milpitas Teachers Association leader for the past 10 years. She and her team have ensured Milpitas teachers have a strong voice throughout the pandemic and work to ensure learning continuity, safety, and security for teachers, students, and all school staff. Diana Orlando.
I wasn't going to speak, but Chris told me I have to. This is really an award that is for all teachers, CSEA, administrators, and district office people. We stuck together as a team through one of the hardest times of our careers, and we came out on the winning end. It's not a normal year yet, but we're going to get there, and we're always going to put our students first. And I appreciate the teamwork from my district because together we do better. I know it's a cliche, but it's the truth. And so I thank Chris and I thank Alex and I thank all of the other unsung heroes. Because of you, we can do more. Thank you.
Next up is Shanae Price. Shanae Price was nominated by Jim Araby. Shanae has worked at Safeway in San Jose for over 20 years, and in that time, Shanae has been exemplary in helping take care of customers in our community. During the uncertainty of the COVID-19 pandemic, Shanae helped calm people's nerves, assisted members of the USCW5 at Safeway, and advocated for their safety, ensured that customers were able to get what they needed. Shanae Price.
Hi, I just wanted to say thank you to Mr. Alex Lee for recognizing all of us. And it wasn't easy, it was a difficult time, but I had great team members and we all came together. And I want to say congratulations to everybody out there because we all went through it together and we all feel blessed. And thank you. Have a good day. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Hector Moreno. I'm the business agent for UCW. This is really hard decision because a lot of the workers there are unsung heroes. But every time I come across Shanae, it's such a positive experience, even through the whole pandemic. I just see the customers just smiling, even though they look like they're having a rough day. So if you haven't met Shanae, you should really go to that Safeway on Flower Road and meet her because you will not come out the same. She's so positive. I just want to say thank you.
Next up is Cindy Ragona. Cindy Ragona was nominated by Maribel Montaner. Cindy worked to set up the first walk-up testing site in California and San Jose. The site was located at the Mexican Heritage Plaza in East San Jose, helping to serve one of the communities in Santa Clara County that was hardest hit by the COVID-19 pandemic. Her efforts have led to over 100,000 individuals being tested for COVID-19 and receiving their COVID-19 vaccination. Cindy Ragona. Thank you so much, Cindy. Up next is Reclaiming Our Downtown. They were nominated by Donna West. Reclaiming Our Downtown brings together community members and organizations from throughout Santa Clara to help revitalize the downtown area. They are dedicated to creating an amazing and economically vibrant downtown in Santa Clara that preserves its history and creates a place for present and future Santa Clara residents of all ages to enjoy. Reclaiming Our Downtown.
Thank you. On behalf of our 4,000 members, I want to thank Assemblymember Lee and his incredible staff for this honor and for all their support through the rebirth of downtown Santa Clara. This was a lost cause. There's been 6 attempts over 60 years, but the only cure for a lost cause is a dedicated group of insane citizens. And they're standing behind me, our core group. A small group can make the impossible possible. And with us today, there are people who stood in the rain, gathering signatures, waiting until 1:30 in the morning to speak at council meetings, working all night, researching on other US downtowns and how they became great. The opposition is often in it for the money, and a small group is in it for the love of the cause. And I feel that, the other side goes home at 5 o'clock and we just keep going until the goal gets done. So with this group, I think you're going to see the most amazing downtown in the United States. And again, thank you so much for this honor.
Up next is Rewire Community. Rewire Community was nominated by Maria Galani. Rewire Community has worked with local domestic violence and sexual assault agencies to support and serve survivors of gender-based violence for the past decade. During the COVID-19 pandemic, they started a utilities and essentials fund and a COVID-19 survivor relief fund that each raised thousands of dollars and helped put together hundreds of survival care kits. Give it up for Rewire Community. Up next is the Santa Clara Schools Foundation. Santa Clara Schools Foundation was nominated by Steve Meade. The Santa Clara Schools Foundation helps enrich the education of students in the Santa Clara Unified School District by funding programs, projects, scholarships, and citizenship awards. During the COVID-19 pandemic, they were able to support students by raising money, sponsoring virtual STEAM Expo, co-sponsoring the 2020 Stuff for Success event, and helping graduating seniors celebrate their accomplishments. The Santa Clara Schools Foundation.
Thank you very much, Assemblymember Lee, for this great award. And I would like to accept this award on behalf of the Santa Clara Schools Foundation and the board members who were unable to be here today. And I'd like to introduce
to Sarah Marks, who is our newest board member. So I'd like to congratulate her on becoming the newest member. We look forward to collaborating with her. I'd also like to acknowledge our donors and partners in the Santa Clara Unified Community who couldn't be here as well. Whether it be through the arts, music, STEAM programs, health centers, gardens, scholarships, and everything that we support, the Santa Clara Schools Foundation is committed to creating a better future for our students and our community. So thank you very much.
Next up is Sabita Saravanan. Sabita was nominated by Christy Casey. Sabita helped run a volunteer parent group at Mission San Jose High School in Fremont. At the beginning of the pandemic, Sabita and a community group of parents helped raise funds, identified vendors for personal protective equipment supplies for donation, and identified members of the community who needed assistance with grocery shopping and other errands. Sabita Saravanan.
Thank you for this honor. Little did I realize I'd be here today receiving this award from Assemblymember Alex Lee. I dedicate this award to my grandmother, who put her heart and soul to raise me despite all the challenges she faced and made me who I am today. I thank my parents, my in-laws, extended family. A big thank you to my son and daughter who put up with all my craziness through these years. Last but not the least, I'm so thankful to my wonderful husband who's right in front of me, who is my pillar of support in all of my endeavors and guiding me to push my boundaries. The Unsung Hero Award comes just in time for my 25th anniversary tomorrow. In Mission San Jose, Fremont, and the administration at Washington Hospital, especially Christy Casey and Elisa Curry, for channeling me in the right direction, and appreciate all our healthcare workers in my hospital and around the world who continue to work tirelessly through this pandemic. A recognition like this helps motivate individuals like me to make a positive impact in our community through collective effort towards one common goal. Thank you.
Next up is John Sinanek. Sinanek was nominated by Mike Cross. John founded the Penitencia Neighborhood Association in San Jose. The Penitencia Neighborhood Association now has more than 600 members that work together to create a solid, caring community. John's dedication work has been here for 25 years, and it has improved the safety and community relations throughout Penitencia's neighborhood. John Simonis.
Yeah, my name is Mike Cross, and I'm the acceptance, and I can't thank Alex Lee for his effort to bring attention to people across this community and the motivation that brings people. It's just wonderful. So thank you very much.
Next up is Bree Sione. Bree is the Vice President of Development and Strategic Partnerships at Ronald McDonald Health Charities Bay Area. She works to partner with children's health care providers to expand local services for sick children and their families. She has also helped expand meal service programs to help meet the growing food insecurities faced by families in our own community. Field.
Thank you all for being here, and thank you to my colleague and friend, Andrew Kanak, for the nomination and Assemblymember Lee for the honor. It's really lovely to be recognized in my home district. I was born and raised in Fremont, and now have the privilege of raising my daughter in Fremont, a place that helped form my personal and professional values that I carry with me every day in my work at Ronald McDonald House Charities, where we strive to remove barriers to medical access for the most vulnerable populations in our community that are sick children. Thank you all. Next up is Don Juan de Guzman. Don Juan de Guzman was nominated by People Peralta. Don is a longtime volunteer with sleeping bags for the homeless Silicon Valley. He collects and distributes sleeping bags, blankets, tents, tarps, water, and other supplies to unhoused members of our community. He also serves as an active volunteer for Second Harvest Food Bank, Rebuilding Together Silicon Valley, and Envision Villa. Don Juan de Guzman. Next up is Malai Olomi. Malai was nominated by David Peralta. He advocates for marginalized communities in San Jose by raising awareness through storytelling and community fundraising. She serves as a board member for Sleeping Bags for the Homeless, Silicon Valley, and is dedicated to assisting unhoused members of our community. Malai also serves as an active volunteer with North American Islamic Shelter for the Abused. Malai Olomi. Next up is Rock Patel. Rock Patel was nominated by David Peralta. Rock has been a volunteer for Sleeping Bags for the homeless Silicon Valley for several years. He collects and distributes sleeping bags, blankets, tents, tarps, water, and other supplies to the unhoused members of our community. Rock volunteer work has allowed unhoused members of our community to have access to the resources that they need. Rock Patel.
Hey everyone. Firstly, I just want to say thank you. Second thing is everybody here, right? It's a collection of like the most beautiful souls on this planet. Because of not just what you do, your actions, but your intentions. And that means a lot for everyone. Last year, just during Thanksgiving, I caught COVID. So I was like on that stage where I was like, taking my last breath. And it gave me a realization of what to actually do with every breath that we take and make it count. And that's what all of you do. So congratulations. Give yourself a big round of applause.
Jinky Peralta. Jinky Peralta was nominated by Ross Patel. Jinky is dedicated to serving those in need most in our community. She is a leader for sleeping bags for the homeless Silicon Valley, where she helps collect and distribute sleeping bags, blankets, tents, tarps, and water, and other supplies to unhoused members of our community. Jinky's leadership and organization sets an example that benefits everyone in our community. Jinky Peralta.
Thank you for this award, Assembly Member Alex Lee. I am truly honored to receive it, and without the support of my loving husband, all of this sleeping bag for the homeless, board of directors, our president, Manira Lani, none of this would have been possible. Thank you to all of our continued support from our donors and all of our volunteers. And special thanks goes to Ross Patel for having the generosity to nominate me. And again, thanks to Assembly Member Alex Lee and staff, and all of you for honor that you do for this year. Thank you.
Next up is Lynn Vaughn. Lynn was nominated by Michelle Liu. Lynn has worked diligently as an intensive case manager for the Health Trust Coordinated Care Project. She has built trusting relationships with clients and has helped them find the resources they need, find appropriate housing, complete applications, and put down deposits, apply for benefits, and settle into new homes. Lynn also serves our community as a member of the City of San Jose Housing and Community Development Commission. Lynn Vaughn. Up next is Ariana Belissa. Ariana is a core member with the San Jose Conservation Corps and Charter School. During the COVID-19 pandemic, she worked to address food insecurity in our community by boxing food with the Conservation Corps for members of our community with the greatest needs. Ariana also serves as an active member and volunteer at the Second Harvest Food Bank in San Jose. Ariana Belissa.
I just wanted to say thank you for everything, and I'm so grateful to be here with everyone. Everyone is truly here. I'm just so grateful for the contribution for all the opportunities that they've given me. I honestly feel like it's changed my life, and it's helped me see that I can be here. Everyone does have that potential, and I really hope that with all of the support and love that I've gotten from all the mentors I've met here and what I see here today, I hope I can help change someone's life. Thank you.
I wanted to mention that Ariana is also accepting Melissa Devos' award. She is also an unsung hero, and they are co-workers. Please also give it up for Melissa Devos, who could not make it today. Last but certainly not least is Yoli Garcia. Yoli is a board member and co-founder of Hope for the Unhoused, which works to provide unhoused members of our community with food, tent, sleeping bags, clothing, hygiene packs, and other essential items. Yoli is also dedicated to advocating for effective solutions to homelessness and educating our community about the challenges of unhoused residents. Yoli Garcia. Two more unsung heroes. Oh, here we go.
Thank you very much on behalf of Yoli Garcia, who is truly an unsung hero. She's one of my heroes. She is the coach for the unhoused, and she would like to thank all of you. Thank Alex Lee for not only this program, but for our partnership. And she also would, I'm sure, would want to thank all of our board members, as well as all of our volunteers and her family, and particularly Mark, her boyfriend, who does a lot with us as well. So thank you again, and thank you to my family as well and my friends for all of the support. We couldn't do this without you. Thank you so much.
I wanted to mention two unsung heroes who could not make it today. So please give it up for Michael Batista and Michelle Kessinger. Thank you all so much for coming to the Unsung Heroes event today. It was an honor to honor you all, and I just want to remind our unsung heroes, please come up to the stage afterwards so that we can take a group photo.